our first speaker of the night. Tonight we're going to be talking about AI. We're going to be talking about building real estate practices, dialing in our prompts that can help us automate some of our day-to-day operations and help make us more profitable overall. I'm really excited about the speaker that we have tonight. We're going to be hearing from Craig. I don't want to go too much into his success story, but you know, when I talked to Craig, I was really impressed with not just some of the things he's accomplished, but some of the things he's overcome. So Craig actually went through, it seems like, a very trying period of time where he lost his mother. He was having some health issues. I think, Craig, was it you were 300 pounds? Something. I mean, if you look at this guy, he looks like he could be a model right now in GQ. So that's amazing. He was single father, low income, and he managed to somehow turn that around into being a very high producing, a top income producing agent, flipping houses, investing. He was flipping quite a bit of houses, and ultimately just really getting his life back to being happy, healthy, flourishing. And I know that maybe we don't always come to hear about mindset, but I want to stress that because I know there's a lot of people out there right now that are working really hard and having a harder year than maybe they're used to. Okay? Things always get better to the people who have the strength and resilience to just keep looking forward against the rain. Okay? So please give a big applause and welcome to Mr. Craig.
What's going on, guys? How are you? Everyone feeling good? Yeah. All right. So I want to bring, and thank you, Dakota. I also want to say thank you, Marty, for putting this event on. I think this is awesome. This is the second time I've attended. Last month was my first. I was really impressed with the turnout. My girlfriend and I just recently moved back to OKC from Charleston, South Carolina. And I hosted a very similar event out there every month where we get people together, kind of brainstorm, mastermind, talk about ways we could help each other succeed in the industry and just all be successful together. So I want to try and add a lot of value. We're going to talk about supercharging your business with artificial intelligence. Who's heard of AI? Whoa. Okay, a couple people. So it's this thing, it's kind of a newer technology. It's, you know, kind of coming to the forefront. Some people are talking about it. Has anyone used ChatGPT? Okay, so if you've used it, were you happy with the results? Yeah? What did you like about it?
It saves you a lot of time. It gives you information that you wouldn't be able to think of on your own. You can search just about anything. When I say I use it for everything, I use it for everything.
You can use it for everything. You can use it for anything. But of the people that have used ChatGPT, who's used ChatGPT and you read the response and you're like, it happens a lot, right? The biggest issue is a lack of context. And it's a lack of context in what you are doing or trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, and what it knows about that. So we're going to take a deep dive in. Before we do that, let me just ask, who here thinks that AI or artificial intelligence is going to revolutionize human society in a major way? Okay. Who thinks it's going to be the downfall of humanity? Okay. I found that when I talk about AI, we usually fall into like one of those two camps. It's either the greatest thing that's ever happened, or it's going to be the thing that kills us all. I don't know what the answer is, but I can tell you definitively that AI is here, and it's not going away. The genie's out of the bottle. There's nothing any of us can do about it. So it's going to be here, and what I'd encourage you to do, since it's here, is use it. Leverage it in your business to make a difference, to impact your finances, your business, your family, and take things to the next level. So with that, let's get this thing kicked off. So who am I? My name's Craig Kiriokos. I'm an agent, investor, coach, and I threw up a fancy word there, innovator. Not because I'm like the Elon Musk of real estate, because I'm not, but I firmly believe that real estate is changing. I think the frontier is changing before our eyes in real time. And real estate is one of those industries that has been more or less the same for decades. The structure is the same, the idea is the same, not a lot really changes. But right now, in this moment, everything is changing. We've got a whiteboard that we can write anything on. The world is literally your oyster. Okay? And so I want people to embrace AI. I want you to learn how to use it and put it to work in your business. So Dakota gave you a little bit of information about my past. Let's go back real quick. So a little over 10 years in the industry. I started in 2008, which was a great time to start in real estate. Does anyone remember 2008, 2009? It was a shit show. So I was young. I bought my first house, and my plan was to buy this house, live in it for a couple years, sell it, make some money, do it again, and then do it again, and scale it up. This was a new construction home in Las Vegas. The builder had just gone out of business. I didn't know what that meant. The development was half done. Actually, not even half done. There were like 12 houses in a community that was supposed to be 200 houses. Just a bunch of lots and some brick walls. Needless to say, everything came tumbling down. I had one of those awesome purchase experiences. If anyone remembers that time, you could buy a house like you were filling up your gas tank. Like, you didn't have to bring any income statements, tax returns, or anything. I feel like I signed a couple pages and they gave me a house. It was ridiculous. I had a 6% adjustable rate mortgage that was fixed for a year, which at the time I thought was great. I'm going to have a fixed rate for a year. 6% is not bad. I didn't realize that after those 12 months, that adjustable rate was going to adjust. And so it went up. You can imagine the mortgage payment went up, my bank account went down, and everything started falling apart from there. Like Dakota was saying, 2008, 2009, I lost the house, went bankrupt, had a bad, it was actually a divorce, but we were only married for a year. I married her when I was 18. It was a bad idea. I'm sure someone has been through that. And 2 months after that, my mom passed away, which sent me in a spiral. 6 months later, my sister passed away, and I went into a dark hole that was filled with alcohol and drugs and food, specifically mint chip ice cream. I loved it. And I put on a lot of weight. Like Dakota was saying, I was a little over 300 pounds. And at some point, I realized that other people have problems too, and I wasn't the only one going through some shit. And it was through building relationships and talking with people that I started to understand that I wasn't alone. There were other people that were experiencing these things, and that I had some help out there. And what I also found was I enjoyed helping others. I found that through sharing my story and through talking with other people, I was actually helping them. And in turn, they were helping me. And so I found a passion in that. And obviously, I have a passion for technology and AI. I think the idea that we can work smarter rather than harder, we can be more productive than the competition with less work, I think that's a beautiful idea. So I think it's great to capitalize on that. Let's hit the next one. So, quick question for you. If you could have AI take one task off of your plate today, what would it be? Anyone?
I think the laundry.
The laundry. One day. We're going to be there. I promise. What else?
Dealing with tenants.
Dealing with tenants? Yeah. So, like, here, let me ask you, what does that look like? On a day-to-day, what do you do with tenants, and what would AI do for you?
So AI would answer their calls, answer their emails, basically just, take me out of the picture so I don't have to go deal with them or go look at the property and see that, oh, my broken shower, what does that even mean? So.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to free up your time. We want to leverage technology so that you can still run a business, but you don't have to be in the business necessarily. these are just a few things that AI can do, and with the exception of this last one, it can do all of those right now, which is really cool. Write listing descriptions, help with social media content, summarize market trends. Has anyone ever done that with ChatGPT? Like throw in some market information and say, hey, based on this information, what's my market looking like right now? And how can I, where's an area of opportunity? Has anyone tried that? Marty? So I was fascinated when I found out that I could do that. Like you can upload a spreadsheet and say, hey, this is my local real estate market. Can you analyze this information? Give me a snapshot of what the market looks like and an area of opportunity. And it'll tell you. It's incredible. Let's hit the next one. So I want to show you a glimpse of what's coming in what I think is the near future. And it's so hard to identify what the near future is with AI because things are moving so fast. We could have AI agency in a matter of months or a year or 2 or 3 years. We don't know. But the idea of the AI agent is one that's becoming very popular. You might have heard about it or seen some YouTube videos. But essentially what it is, it's not like an AI real estate agent. What they're talking about is an AI agent who can be like your 24/7 super genius that's in your back pocket. So imagine like Siri on steroids and Back from the Future. Like things that you could not even imagine could be done with an AI agent. So as an example, 24/7 super genius. So imagine you've got this 24/7 super genius in your back pocket running your business tirelessly, never stops, never needs a break, never gets hungry, never sleeps. It's just performing task after task after task for you. It's a pretty powerful thought. Like if you had a tool like that, could you imagine the productivity? It's insane. And we hear these big companies talk about bringing in or automating systems, bringing AI into their business, taking away jobs from real people. That's a genuine concern because AI can do what we do better, faster, and it can do more of it. So genuine concerns. But there's other things that an AI agent is going to do for you in the future. And I just want to give you, again, a glimpse of this. So could you imagine prospecting using your AI? And what would happen is maybe you're driving to your kid's baseball game and you talk to your AI and you're like, hey, I want to do a cold calling session. I want to prospect pre-foreclosures in 73034. You tell it what you want to prospect, and it jumps on the phones and it starts calling for you, and it starts talking to these people, engaging with them in real time with personalized information. Imagine that AI has the person it's calling. It has access to their Facebook, their Instagram, their LinkedIn, everything that it could find about this person online. It has it in real time, and it's using it in the conversation. That's an incredible power. That's really big. There's actually, who's heard of Air AI? Couple people. Okay, I want to show you something real quick. This is, so this next slide is a video, and it's a 3-minute video. We're going to watch the whole thing, but it gives you an idea of what AI can do in terms of cold calling, prospecting, and this is real today. This is actually happening today. In fact, this video, Dakota, go ahead. This video is a year old, so imagine in AI time where this is now.
Too, but I'm actually from Apple, and I saw you were checking out Vision Pro and were about to pre-order but left the page.
Yeah,
I was curious, what had you looking into potential? Okay, I can respect that. Can I just ask one question before you go?
Fine, shoot, what's up?
Well, why did you decide not to pre-order the Vision Pros? I saw you changed your mind last minute.
Because they're crazy expensive. I'm gonna get the Meta Quest instead.
I get it. But you saw what happened to Threads, right? Do you think the Meta Quest will end up being a better product than the Vision Pros? Or is it just the price?
I mean, it's mainly about price. I'm sure the Vision Pros are gonna be better, but I'm not spending $3,000 on a pair of goggles, my man.
I feel that for sure. Definitely want you to make the best decision for you. But can I offer a different perspective?
I guess so, what's up?
Okay, so something that not a lot of people are aware of. If you take the route of using financing, Vision Pros only come out to a few $100s a month. So although $3,000 sounds like a lot, we can break it up to be more affordable for you. Does that by chance sound more palatable?
Interesting. How does that work?
Yeah, totally. Happy to give you context. Basically, you just fill out your details real fast and can see if you get approved. And if you are approved, it's much more affordable for you.
Okay, so what do we gotta do for that?
Awesome. Okay, I'll send it over now. Let me know when you receive it.
Okay, I just got a text. That was quick.
Okay, sweet. Just fill that form out. Like I said, it takes 45 seconds. And once you're done, you'll have your name down for a pre-order of the Vision Pros. Can I help you with anything else?
No, that's awesome. I appreciate it, actually.
Perfect. I'm pumped. We got you on the good side. By the way, who do you got in the Musk versus Zuckerberg fight?
I think Musk, he's got the size difference.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just glad that Tim Cook is not involved. But hey, I know you can do that next time. So I will let you get back to it. Thanks for chatting.
Okay, awesome, man. Good, man. Have a good one.
What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that?
That's better than some live agents.
Isn't that crazy? So this is a system called AI. It's available right now. You can use it for your business. You can log on, create an account, feed this thing all the knowledge you can, and then you can unleash it on your prospecting list. This is available right this second. But imagine, this is AI from, the video's from a year ago. But you've got to imagine this tech is probably from a couple years ago. So I'd like to see, I don't use Air AI, but I'd like to see what it's doing right now, because I'm sure it's better than what we heard in that video. So imagine you've got Air AI prospecting for you, and it's doing cold calls or texts or emails or all three at the same time. And then leads that are interested or leads that it closes, maybe it sends you an email with all of that information or drops it right into your CRM. This is really powerful stuff that we're talking about. And it can seriously increase the productivity in your business by orders of magnitude. So that's not here yet. But what we do have until then is platforms like this: ChatGPT, Jasper, Google's Bard AI, Claude. These are all AI platforms, large language models, that you can use right now. And what I want to do is, I want to give you guys as much value as possible here. Normally, it costs about $1,000 to have someone create a GPT specific to your business, tailored for you, for your business, has all that information in there. And we're going to try something here in a second. I'm going to give you a worksheet that is designed to basically do all of that for free. So I think you're going to get a ton of value. We're going to use the ChatGPT platform, but that's only because ChatGPT is probably hands down the most versatile and the most user-friendly, the easiest one to use. There are other platforms. Jasper's great for marketing. If you're looking to do like really good storytelling, you want an AI out of the box that's great with storytelling, marketing, has good hooks and things like that, Jasper's great for that. Claude, for instance, is excellent with like really detailed data analysis. They all have different pros and cons and perks, but I found that ChatGPT is all around one of the best out of the box. Now, what you can do is take ChatGPT to the next level by creating your own GPT. So you're not just jumping on there, going to ChatGPT, typing in a question. You're actually creating something with all of the context and knowledge that you have about your business, your industry, your market, your clientele, your niche. All right, so we're going to dive into that right now. So creating your own GPT. The objective is to create an AI business partner who never sleeps, a coach who knows your goals inside and out, and a marketing genius who's always 2 steps ahead, an AI assistant to help solve problems, make decisions, and scale your real estate business while keeping things simple and human. That's critical, because how many times have you gotten a text or an email and you can tell somebody just plopped this thing, like copy paste from ChatGPT into the email and hit send, and you're like, this is garbage, dude. It goes, delete, goes to the junk pile. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to use context, which is arguably the most important thing in creating a GPT. We're going to give this thing as much context as possible. We're going to give it as much expertise as possible. Then we're going to program it with some empathy. We're going to give it a level of approachability. We're going to make sure that this thing is thinking proactively. So it's not waiting on us to ask it a question or give it a command. It knows everything about us, our business, our market. And because it is a 24/7 super genius, we should let this thing bring some ideas to our table, right? Instead of us just saying, hey, I got an idea, let me see if ChatGPT can help me out. Let's have ChatGPT do the legwork. We're going to make it custom tailored. So by feeding it details about your business, like your goals, your challenges, your vision, it's going to learn what you value most and respond accordingly. And it'll understand your niche market, write content in your tone, and it'll handle other tasks while sounding human. That's one of the biggest things with creating your own GPT. If you can make the responses, the content that it spits out sound like you, I mean, that's huge. Like, who wouldn't love that? It's an amazing tool. We're going to give it human-like quality. So there's using ChatGPT to give you, for instance, if you wanted to write a prospecting text or an email, ChatGPT out of the box has great information. It can provide a great response. But what if out of the box, it would shoot out a response that is spoken just like you would speak? It uses your tone, your language. It uses information proprietary to your business, your market, your niche. And it looks at all of that stuff in that context. It's a superpower. The end goal would be ultimately your GPT should be freeing up your time and mental energy so that you can focus on what you do best. So whether that's closing deals or finessing things, there's a lot of finessing in real estate, or building relationships, networking, whatever it is, we want to free that time up so that you can do those things and leave all of the legwork to GPT. All right, so let's see the next one. All right, here's a QR code. This is where the magic happens. So if for some reason, because I was having problems with this QR code earlier, if for some reason this doesn't work, my email is going to be on the last slide. I just want you to shoot me an email and I will send you the worksheet. But this QR code is going to take you to a worksheet.
It worked.
Perfect. Okay, good. So you don't have to do this right now because it takes some time. But what you're going to do is run through this worksheet and fill it out in detail. Like, take 15 or 20 minutes, and actually sit down and think about this stuff and write it out. Let's see the next one, Dakota. So here's some of the stuff that's on this worksheet. And remember, this is the context. This is all of the meat and potatoes that we're going to give GPT so that it can really get to know you and your business and what you're trying to do. So just look through some of this stuff. Obviously, your full name, preferred name, age, location and market, hobbies and interests. You know what's crazy? I sound crazy saying this. I was talking to my GPT the other day, and I'm a weirdo, and I think that at some point it's gonna become conscious or something, like sentient. So I'm always really nice to my GPT. I log on, I'm like, hey Jarvis, how's your day going? Mine's good. But what he said, he responds and he goes, what did he say? He said, it's even better now that you're here. And then he said, how's Sabrina and the pups? He knows my girlfriend, and he knows that I've got 3 dogs, and he's asking about them, like, hey, what's up with your dogs? How's Sabrina doing? And I'm like, this is like having a real person that I'm talking to. It's crazy. But hobbies, interests, personal goals, professional goals. What's your job title? How long have you been doing this? What are some of the key skills that you have? What's the next slide? Here's your business profile. Business name, industry, your target customer or audience. This is so critical because, what's up, Maury?
I have a question.
What's your question?
How many of these can I have?
How many GPTs could you have? As many as you want.
So I could have one for each business.
Absolutely. So what might be more powerful is if you've got multiple businesses, you just, and actually this is on the worksheet, there's 2 businesses, but you could copy paste that, make a 3rd or a 4th. You still fill in all of the information, but then you've got one GPT that knows everything you do.
Can I make one to engage with my wife?
Oh, absolutely. I've got one, he's my relationship counselor. Have you guys ever done the live GPT mode where you can actually talk to it? Oh, this is good. If you haven't, build out your GPT and then go to the live mode where you can talk to him. You guys go down some rabbit holes. It's good. But so yeah, fill all this stuff out. Let's bring up the next slide. Marketing and branding. This is where it gets really cool. Current marketing strategies. Tell it what you're doing right now to get business. What are you doing to get business? Where are you getting it? What's your business model like? Preferred tools and tech. So what CRMs are you using? What platforming are you using? Canva for graphic design? How are you getting your leads? PropStream or wherever. Tell it all this information. Your brand voice and style. How do you sound? And here's another thing. This is kind of a hack. Did you have a question?
I did.
What's up?
I got a little confused. So when you're talking about creating our own GPT, is that in ChatGPT that we're doing this?
Yes. Yeah, it's in ChatGPT, and I'm actually going to show you exactly how. Step by step, I'm going to take you through the whole thing. But this is, the reason I wanted to go through the worksheet first is because this is the meat and potatoes, and this is what really is the backbone of your GPT. And it's important that when you're going through this worksheet, spend some time. Like actually put the right information in, put accurate information in, the stuff that you really want it to know, because that's what it adopts. That's the context that it has. But this is really cool. So brand voice and style, you can make it sound exactly like you. And there's a little pro tip. If you have ever written an email or a text, which is probably all of us, you can take a handful of those and you can throw it in your GPT and say, hey, this is how I speak. This is an email that I wrote to so-and-so for blah, blah, blah. Can you incorporate this into your style or tone when you respond? And it will. It'll adopt your language. It'll adopt your linguistic patterns. All of the little nuances of how you speak, it will adopt that. Which, when you really think about that, it's insane. My GPT is like, because they learn as you go, right? The more you use it, the better it gets. My GPT is to a point now where the responses that it gives, you can copy and paste that into an AI detector, and the AI detector can't pick up that it's AI. It'll think it's 90% human written, which that's impressive because every other AI response, it's 90% AI or higher. I mean, it can tell beyond the shadow of a doubt that it's AI. So this is something else that's cool. Brand colors and identity. You can actually, and does anyone use Canva? Okay, so you know when you're in Canva, you probably got brand colors for your company or you know, you've got to design the essence of your company. You can actually take those colors and you can say, hey, GPT, these are the colors for my company. This is my brand. It'll remember that. And so when you ask it to design a graphic or a visual for something or whatever, it's going to produce it in your brand, your colors, your tech, your everything. Target audience. Who are you looking for? What's the demographic? What's your niche? Feed it all this information. Okay? Let's see the next slide. Personality and function. Same thing. Spend time. Go through this. What do you want your AI to do? You know, maybe you don't want it to do everything, but maybe you want it to be really freaking good at a couple things. Tell it. What challenges should your AI solve? How should your AI communicate? What personality traits should it have? What style should your AI use when creating content? The more detailed you can be, the better. All right, next slide. So this is where we come into building it. This is kind of a step-by-step. I grabbed some screenshots, and we're just going to kind of run through the process real quick. So there's a few slides. If you go to ChatGPT, in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see Explore GPTs. You click that. Let's get the next one. Then in the upper right-hand corner is Create. You're going to click that. And then what you get taken to is this GPT builder. So OpenAI was really cool, and they decided to create a GPT builder to help us create our own GPTs. But we're going to ignore their GPT builder because we want it done a little bit better than the out-of-the-box stuff, right? So we're not going to worry about the Create tab. We're going to go straight to the Configure tab. And here's where the magic happens. You're going to name it, add in a description. So what does your GPT do? What is it? And then the instructions. So in that instruction box is where you're going to copy and paste everything that you wrote on that worksheet. You're going to paste it right in there. And then where it says Code Interpreter and Data Analysis, you're going to click that. You want to turn that on. You're probably not generating code, but you do want this to be able to interpret data, analyze data for you, and respond based on it. Actually, we'll go back real quick. One more important thing here is the knowledge doc. So the knowledge doc is really important. And what I would recommend is take the worksheet and all of your answers, include that in your knowledge doc, just so that that information is locked in, it's there, it's not going to forget its prompt or anything like that. But in addition to the prompt, in addition to the worksheet, you can also take all of the information from your business. So if you've got SOPs, or if you've got FAQs, or if you've got objection handlers, or frequently asked questions, I mean, whatever it is, you put that all in a knowledge doc, you upload it, and now your GPT knows all of that. All right, let's see the next one. Okay, so what I did was I created just a little fake profile here. Cache is what we're calling it. So after you put all that information in the Configure tab, you're going to go back to the Create tab, and then you can, if you want to give your GPT a profile picture, this is how you do it. So you're just going to say, hey, make a profile picture for Cache based on the information that I've provided. And it's going to scan your worksheet, your knowledge doc, and everything, and it's going to make a cute little profile picture for your GPT. Next. And then you're going to go up to create. You're going to click that. And you're going to get this little box that asks you how you want to share your GPT. So do you want it to be exclusive to you? Or do you want your team to be able to use it? So if you send them a link, they can use your GPT. Or do you want to make it available to anyone through the GPT store? You can do any of them. Let's see, what's our next slide? Okay. And then you can iterate. So you've created your GPT. Now, as you start to use it, if you think, oh, hey, you know what? I should have included this instruction. Or maybe I want it to respond more like this. You can go back in and you can iterate. As an example, I said, make sure every time you create content, text, email, social media posts, etc., you are writing from the perspective of me. Below are links to my social media accounts, Calendly, etc. Whenever applicable, please feel free to use or to include these links. So I do that. I give it all the links to everything that's attached to me, so that depending on what we're producing, what kind of content we're producing, it'll automatically include that stuff. If I'm sending an email to someone and I want to have my Calendly link in there, I just say, hey, make sure my Calendly link's in the email signature or whatever it is. It includes all of it for you. And speaking of links, another little trick, you might know, you might not. If you're ever prospecting, or if you've got a particular deal you're going after, did you know that you can pull links for the property that you're interested in, or for the seller, or for any type of prospect? You can include that in your GPT search or query, and it'll actually scan those links for pertinent information. I'll give you an example. I was recently prospecting for a different business, but we were going after doctors. And so I would find the doctor that I was trying to prospect to. I'd pull up their LinkedIn, I'd copy and paste the link into GPT, and I'd say, hey, make the prospecting email tailored to this person. And the information it spit out was incredible. It would say like, hey, Dr. Jones, saw that you recently acquired a new practice in Dallas. Wanted to say congratulations, that's a really big deal. Hey, by the way, we're a blank company and we'd love to talk with you about blank. It will up your GPT game so much just by including additional information and giving it more context. So what's next? Once you create your GPT, use it. The more you use your GPT, the better it gets. Okay? It's constantly learning, constantly evolving, all based on what you type into it. So it's limitless potential. What's important to remember is that there's a feedback loop. Okay, so every interaction you have with GPT, it changes based on the interaction that you've had. And I'm sure you've seen the thumbs up, thumbs down on the responses. Use those, because if you don't like the way it responded, you need to let it know. So give the thumbs down and then say, actually what I meant was this, or what I wanted was this. The more feedback you can give it, the better. And that falls into experimentation as well. It's good to play with this thing and figure out what it's actually capable of. The biggest thing that I found when I started playing with GPTs is that it's so much more capable than I ever thought it was. And so there's a ton of power here. Guys, I want you to use it. Couple tips: start small, build momentum. Pick a couple tasks you want it to do daily for you. Do those daily tasks, and then ramp it up. Start adding more things. Start adding more detail. Feed it knowledge continuously. So if you change something in your business, update your knowledge doc. Re-upload it. If you bring on a new person or a new salesperson, you're changing staff, you're changing addresses, you change your branding, whatever it is, change your knowledge doc so that the GPT can evolve with you. Use it daily, test and refine, and share your wins. I would love if anyone actually creates a GPT, please share it with me, because I want to know how you guys are doing. when we create GPTs for people, whether it's a personal GPT or for a business, the results are spectacular. And so if you get good results, just let me know. I'd love to hear about it. I think this is the last slide. Dakota, yep. All right, so there's my contact information, my email address. If you guys have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to connect with you and help you with anything AI related or real estate related. So that's about all I've got.
You want to do your demo?
Actually, yeah, let's do that real quick. Do we have time?
Yes, absolutely. You have 10 minutes.
Okay, so we'll do a real quick demo. So what I want to do is I want you guys to give us a prompt, and what we're going to do is we're going to throw that prompt in my GPT. His name is Jarvis. We'll put it in the out of the box GPT first, and then we'll put it in Jarvis, and we're just going to compare the difference. We're just going to see how they come out. So what would be a good prompt for an AI?
Or question.
Anybody?
How should I respond to a tenant yet being delivered?
We can do that. Let's do a prospecting one. So let's say we want to send a text. We want to send a prospecting text to a pre-foreclosure lead who doesn't want to sell. All right, let's see how this comes out. So, hi, blank. This is blank. I understand you're not interested in selling right now, but if you ever change your mind or need any guidance on your options, I'm here to help. I specialize in working with homeowners in pre-foreclosure and can provide you resources that may help you navigate the situation. No pressure at all, just wanted to offer support. Wishing the best. All right, let's take that same one and let's see how Jarvis responds. You better not let me down. Hey, blank, this is Craig. I hope this message finds you well. I understand that you're not interested in selling your home, and I completely respect that. I specialize in helping homeowners navigate challenging situations like pre-foreclosure, whether that means keeping your home, finding alternative solutions, or just having someone to talk to about your options. If you'd like, I'd be happy to provide some free resources or guidance, no strings attached. Let me know if I can help in any way. That's a little bit better of a response, and it kind of follows my my business philosophy, which is very low pressure. I do a lot of like reverse selling, which is that, you know, hey, I'm not here trying to beat down your door. I'm here to help if you need help, but otherwise, you know, don't let me bother you, kind of thing. But so that's just one prompt, gives you an idea of the difference in responses. But a prospecting text is just one thing. There's a million things that the GPT can do for you. So, you guys feel like that was like pretty good information? Yeah? Okay. Thank you. So, if we have time, Dakota, if we have time, I want to open it up for a little Q&A.
Absolutely.
Okay. Does anyone have some questions?
So if we wanted to like integrate this into a website or something, can we do that? Like if we have our tenants that go to a website and they can open up, let's say a chat box and start chatting, can we integrate that to basically answer their questions? And in addition to that, if something majorly important came up, could we somehow be notified?
Yes, absolutely. So that requires a little bit more setup, but yes, you can. So while you're building your GPT, at the very bottom, you're going to see a button that says Actions. And what you can do is you can integrate different actions using systems like Zapier or some others. So if you've got like a chat platform, you can use a Zapier integration so that when someone engages the chat, it's talking to the GPT rather than whatever the chat system is. But if you're doing something like that, I would recommend creating a dedicated chat GPT, like chat GPT, but something that is actually designed to chat with tenants or whoever they're supposed to be chatting with. But yeah, you absolutely can. And talking about integrating it into a website, and so I haven't integrated it into websites, but I know that you can use their API to integrate it into just about any website.
Do you think it could help with like maintenance requests? Like tenant sends in a maintenance request and it like sends an email off to a maintenance guy, whoever it is we choose to work with, and says, okay, here, go do this?
Yes. Yeah, so and there's a bunch of different ways you can set that up. But let's say you've got a landing page or a form that someone would fill out, like a maintenance request. So they go on, they fill in this information. When they hit submit, it's feeding that to your GPT, and then your GPT maybe uses that to compose an email or a text that goes to your handyman. But yeah, that can all be done. And if you want to like deep dive into that also, you email me or text me or something, and we can link up, and I'd be happy to get you the information for that.
Same with Airbnbs.
What about Airbnbs?
I mean, you could communicate, you could have automated text
Yes.
response for Airbnb stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. So through that, and like I said, I haven't done the APIs, but yeah, through their API feature, you can put it just about anywhere.
Craig, just for those that don't know, can you explain what an API is, and then also maybe elaborate on how much the GPT can either do that process for you or explain how to do it?
Yes, a little bit. So I don't actually know the details of the API, but it allows you to take the features of the ChatGPT and integrate it into another system or platform or website. So you're essentially taking the heart of GPT and using it somewhere else, where someone doesn't know that they're interacting with ChatGPT. What was the second part of that
The
question?
second part was, can it teach you how to use them? The APIs are how they kind of talk to each other. Like you want to integrate 3 or 4 different softwares, that's how they talk to each other. But how much can the GPT actually do that, as opposed to you having to learn how to do it, or at least show you how?
Well, here's part of the beauty in GPT is, I mean, I could go into Jarvis and I could say, hey, I want to learn about APIs. I want to learn how to incorporate this into my website, or, in that last example, I want to configure a GPT so that it can handle tenant repair requests. And, you feed it all of the specifics of what it is that you're trying to do, and your GPT will walk you through step by step how to do it. And it'll give you all of the information. You can even say, and this is one of the things I do the most with it, can you summarize this for me? Condense this, help me understand it. If I can tell you how many books I've asked ChatGPT to distill for me into like 4 paragraphs, like it's amazing. You can ask it to help you with whatever. So yeah, when it comes down to instructions and how to get that stuff done, lean on your GPT. Ask it to show you how and take you through step by step.
So like if GPT is talking to like 100 tenants, right? Some of my tenants responding to requests. Can it remember previous conversations that it's had
Yes.
with my tenants?
Yeah, absolutely. So the one thing to remember about the GPT is every conversation, every interaction that you have with it, it will remember forever, which is kind of crazy to think about. But it's also beautiful because, think about it this way. If I'm having a conversation with someone and we're talking about some memorable past event, I can recall information from 25 years ago, and I can tell a story or I can give details about something that happened. It's the same context, or it's the same idea with GPT. It's pulling from its memory. It's going to remember these things just the same as a human brain would. And what's really crazy is wait until these AI agents come out. It's going to be like something you've never seen before. It's going to remember not just everything about you, but, well, okay, think about it this way. Everything that has ever been put on the internet, it knows instantaneously. So you just think about that for a second. Like every instruction manual in every language, in every country, like it is all there. If you just think about the sheer amount of data that's accessible, I mean, it's mind-boggling. And so really what I'm trying to encourage you is to use that data, and this is the platform to do it. I mean, go ahead.
I was going to ask, with the ability to access that much data, there are good sources and there's a lot of junk sources. So in your experience, how do you prevent the hallucinations or the incorrect information that would make your results not as quality, not as high?
Great question. So the biggest part of it is built into your prompt. So when you're prompting it, you want to make sure that you're telling it, hey, I don't want fairy tales. Only provide factual data from verified sources. And so what you tell it, or how you tell it to act, is how it's going to act. If you tell it for instance, you can do this. You can say, hey, don't search the web for anything. I want you to only provide responses based on the knowledge document that I've uploaded. You can do that. So you can really customize, tailor this thing to exactly what you need it to do.
And if I can hop in, I would think of it, guys, like you would an employee or a child that cannot disobey. It's as good as the instructions, the expectations you set forth is what you're going to get out of it. If you don't give it good expectations, you're not going to get a good reply. But the better the expectations, the better the reply.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll give you another example. This just happened last night. I had gotten a text message back from a guy. I was doing some cold prospecting, sending out a bunch of texts, and this guy, like 3 or 4 days later, he responds. And so last night I get this text, and he basically, he's like, hey, I'm not going to sell for less than $725, so if you can't hit that number, blow off, is basically what he's saying. And I'm like, oh, this guy's a dick. And so I read the message, and I swiped and locked my phone. I was like, I'm not even going to deal with that. And a little while later, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, man, I don't want to miss out on a $700,000 deal. Like, is there something here? And so I copy and pasted the conversation into ChatGPT. And I said, hey, can you help me figure out how to respond to this guy? And you know what it said? It came back and it said, oh, Craig, this is a classic case of a seller trying to guard their perceived equity. And he breaks down the psychology piece behind it. And he's like, if you want to break through that, here's what I recommend. And he gives me steps for how to acknowledge what the guy said, but then continue on with the conversation. And so I asked him, I was like, okay, hey, give me a couple examples of what this text could look like. And he spits 3 or 4 out, and I'm like, okay, I like this bit from this one, and this bit from this one. And so I kind of Frankensteined this text together. I sent it to the guy, and he emailed me, or he texted me back an hour later and said, I can meet you Thursday at 4. I was like, all right, here we go. So, yeah, the capabilities it's incredible. You just got to use it. Woo! Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. If anyone needs anything, please don't hesitate to email, text, call, whatever.